Hey everyone, and welcome to the 10th episode of What's Your Favorite Scary Story? This episode, I think I found a few pretty good stories for it, and I'd like to give a special shout out to Nicole. Thank you for being a voice actress for this, and also Ryan, so thank you for being a voice actor for this episode. But let's get into this first scary story called My Wife. My wife. A few months ago, I killed my wife. It was no big deal, really. It just happened. We hadn't been on good terms for years, and to be honest, killing her was much easier than having to go through the turmoils of a divorce. I did it while she slept. Do you want to know how I did it? I was creative. I pride myself highly on my unique abilities. I'm a chef, you see. My specialty is carving. I cut and I spliced. It was beautiful almost. She never looked more graceful than she did then. Her body adorned by wounds, lacerations, all done by my wonderfully steady hand. It was a work of art. The hardest thing was cleaning away all the blood. You'd be surprised how difficult that was. The smell was the tricky part, too. It lingered in our bedroom like a bad fart. The smell of death is quite indescribable. It's musty, mothball-like, and it hangs in the air. I had my windows open for 2 weeks, and I still could smell the wetness. We have a son. His name is Zach, and for a while, I was worried that he would ask for her. He never did, though, which came as no surprise. He probably hated her guts, too. He is an inquisitive but ignorant little boy. I guess most children are. People say that a mother is God in the eyes of her children. I don't agree. Sometimes it's the father, and in this case, I think I was. One late evening, Zach and I were having dinner. He kept glancing at me strangely, though, looking at something behind me. His eyes kept darting up and down like fast little golf balls. "What is it, Zach?" I asked.
"Oh, Dad."
He giggled. His cheeks turned a crimson red. What he said next solidified the blood in my veins.
"I just wonder, why is Mom on your back like that?"
I personally really like this one, and it reminded me of this horror film that I've seen called Shudder. It's a very good horror film if you haven't seen it. But let's go on to the next scary story, which is the 14th Floor. The 14th Floor. Michelle ran through a rainstorm, but managed to arrive at her apartment building before the lightning started. She pressed a button and waited for the only working elevator. It descended from the 8th floor to the 7th, 6th, 2nd, and then the doors opened. Nobody was inside, so Michelle would have room to stretch. She got on. She pressed the button marked with the glowing number 14, her floor. The doors slid closed, and the elevator started to ascend. 3rd floor. 8th floor. 11th floor. Michelle gasped as the elevator jolted, then stopped. The lights flickered. She stared at the mini range that showed what floor the elevator was on. It too flickered. But she could still see that the elevator was stuck between the 12th floor and the 14th floor. The 13th floor. Michelle looked at her electric watch, but it was flickering. She checked her cell phone, but it wouldn't turn on. She pressed the button to open the doors, but they remained closed. Michelle suddenly heard a voice. It came behind her, and it said,
"Excuse me, miss, but I think this is my floor."
Michelle stepped to the side, and something brushed against her hip. She didn't see it. She could only feel the touch of something cold. It quickly passed by her. The doors didn't open, but Michelle knew that she was alone. The 14th floor. So there's really nothing special with that story, but I don't know, it just really spoke to me, so I decided to put it in the episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. But let's move on to the last scary story, which is my coworker. My coworker. My coworker was obsessed with the measurements of people's necks. My coworker was obsessed with people's necks. He was so obsessed that he knew the inches and sizes of everyone's necks that he had on his phone. He would show me on a daily basis pictures of people on his phone, and the only thing he knew about them were the inches and sizes of their necks. My coworker also carried a measuring tape with him wherever he went. He was always playing around with it. Then one day, out of boredom, I started Googling the people my friend had on his phone. All of them were either missing or dead. I told my coworker this, and he then wanted to measure my neck, which I allowed out of fun. He started speaking out softly the size of my neck while using the measuring tape. He then started strangling me using the measuring tape, and he became more aggressive as he was shouting out loud the measurements of my neck. Security guards took him to the ground. He has been declared insane. I thought that story would kind of be a silly way to end the episode, so I hope you guys enjoyed that one. But in terms of ranking these stories, I think I would rank them in my wife, my coworker, the 14th floor. So thank you everyone for watching, and thank you for all the support. I mean, I can't believe we're up to 10 episodes on this, so let's keep this series going. But let's flash forward to the next review.